Hello there. My name is Noah Huffman, and this is my data visualization assignment. So let me start by opening up the data set that I have. This is the CSV. It is an exam scores data set. So we have the ID column, which is just the increment, um, the increment, the column that increments and keeps track of, the number of each row. And then we have the gender, and we have test prep, so none, completed, etc. Make sure those are the only two. Then we have math score, reading score, and writing score. And so this is all out of 100, 0 to 100. So I chose this one just because I tend to be a crammer where I kind of just cram studying in like the night before or the night of an exam, which I know is not optimal, but um, so I was curious to see what some of the correlations in this data set. Um, so let me go through it a little bit. So first, um, I loaded in my data set using pandas, and I just did some simple data cleaning, ran some simple data cleaning functions just to make sure, the data set didn't have a bunch of, undefined, options and stuff like that. So I got the shape of the data set, I got printed the head of the data set. I checked all the types of the data set. I checked if there were any duplicate rows. So that was the data loading and cleaning process. And now I'm going to walk through my code in Colab line by line. So first I import pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib, and then I read the data frame, or I read the data set into a pandas data frame. So this is the file exam scores dataset.csv, which is located right here. So then that, I ran that, but it doesn't output anything. So then I created a histogram. So I'm going to go through this. So first I use NumPy to calculate the average of the average math score, which turned out to be around 62, 63 or so. And then I plot a histogram using the math score column as the data to be loaded in the histogram. And then I add the average, which was calculated right here. I add this as a line, a vertical line, which is that red line right there. And then I give the histogram a title. It's called histogram hyphen math scores. And then I give the x-axis a label called math score and the y-axis a label called frequency. Then I also load in a legend, and then I show the histogram. Uh-oh, didn't mean to run it again. And this is the histogram. So we have the legend, we have the average line, and we have the number of times each math score is hit. So the highest number of math score of consistent of not unique. The highest number of duplicate math scores is in this range right here. So if we look, that's about 60 or 59 or so, 59 to about 70 or so. The average math score is about 65, give or take, which is not very good, really. But um, so next, I plot a scatter plot. So this first line here is plot the plot using scatter with the data frame math scores. I'm sorry, not the data frame, but the column math score and the column reading score. And then I also give the label scores, which is for the legend. And then I give the chart a title. It's called scatterplot-math versus reading scores. So this depicts the math scores versus reading scores. And then I give the X label, which is math score. I give the Y label, which is reading score. I give the legend, which is right here. The label's given up here. And then I give the, sorry, I load in a grid for the graph, for the plot. And then I show it. Oops, didn't mean to run it again, but there you go. Hey, at least it's working. So that is the scatter plot right here. And then the last thing I did on this is a line plot graph. So I plot 3 different lines. The unique variable is the ID, so that's kept on the bottom. So for each, for the first guy is over here, the last guy is over here. So it plots, it shows a line for every single row, essentially every single student who took the exam. So I plot the math score with label of math, which is for the legend. I plot the reading score with reading as the label of the legend, and then writing score with writing. And then I give it a title, which is line plot -scores, and then I give the x-axis a label, student ID, and then I give the y-axis a label, which is scores. And then I load in the legend. I set the grid equal to true because this, there's it's not a ton of data, but it's kind of hard to see exactly what's happening on the graph. And so the grid is just there to help, you can see more easily where, the scores are falling. And then I show the graph there. That is my data visualization assignment. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.